All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the 306 Fantasy Football Podcast. We're here recording 1 week a little bit later than our normal record time, just with the long weekend and everything else there. We had a little bit of scheduling issues, so it was just easier. We pushed it back a week and then just continue on with our 2 week planning. But we're here recording episode 123 for our Wednesday, May 29th episode. On this one, we're back to our game show fun type things we're doing here on the off-season segments, and we're doing a little bit of the fantasy Guess Who. And for those of you that are new to the podcast or don't remember how that one works, when we start getting into the bit of the game show stuff, I'll roll through the rules and a little bit how it works, and then we'll fire that one up. But as we're recording here, we have Zach, who's going to be away this week. So in stepping into the plate here, we've got Robbie Gaetz. And for those of you that are not familiar with Robbie, he's never been on the pod before, but he's a big time supporter of the podcast, big time supporter of the charity work we do in the Super Bowl charity event. He's been involved in, I think I'm gonna probably say safe to say he's been involved in every single charity event we've done, every draft we've done, the bracket challenge, the prop bets. He's done it all. He's part of it all. Longtime supporter, and he always helps us set up, take down, and do all the extra work there at the charity events. So we're super thankful to have Robbie as a fan, as a supporter, and now super thankful to have him on as the pod. So Robbie, I guess how's things going, and maybe tell everybody a little bit about yourself in the fantasy world.
Yeah, well, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me. Like you said, big fan of the pod. Been kind of around it right from the start. So nice to get on and actually talk a little bit about fantasy. So happy to be here. Happy to get rolling. Fantasy wise, I mean, I've played fantasy for a few years now. Finally won my first chip last year. So
Hey,
probably help from the boys
nice.
on the pod
There we
helping me get
go.
to that one. So
Pumping the tires a little
finally,
bit. That's why we're going to bring you back. So it's good.
yeah,
Uh,
finally a champ. So it feels good.
Yeah, it's funny. Actually, we had back when the pod was just me and Armin, the very first episode, talked to Robbie about, okay, just like be honest, what'd you think? Give some feedback. And one of his things back when we still used to have it on the YouTube, he was like, hey, what would be really good is if you time stamped everything, and that way you could click the thing, it goes right to the area on the YouTube and where it is and whatnot. So you don't have to listen to the whole episode if you're just trying to find the certain segments. And that's all he's been a key component of this podcast for a long, long time. So this has been long overdue, and we're glad to have you on. So Armand, what about you? It's been 3 weeks. We had a little extra week there
Oh,
with the main long weekend. So it doesn't feel like 3 weeks, but here we are. So what's been keeping you busy?
yeah, man, those 3 weeks flew by. Rugby's been fantastic. Getting into it, I got my first game of my own senior season on Thursday, and then we had our draft for our dynasty league that we're all a part of, and Zach, Robbie, everyone that we're talking about here today is in it, and I feel like I did really good. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but my team is like completely different from the start of the draft to right now.
Well, you know what? My opinion of my draft is I could say I was not in the draft, and I could also say I smashed my draft because I think I had the second last pick of the entire draft, like 409 or something like that. So, I feel like I wasn't part of the draft, but I also feel like based on my picks, I was okay walking away with who I walked away with. So, but pretty irrelevant. That's my one league where I sold out a little bit there. But my next draft, man, I got draft capital coming out the wazoo, so it'll be a fun one. But Robbie, you're a little more involved in the draft there too, but you gave away your first in this draft pick too, I think, because you sold out to try and go
Yeah,
for it with
I
Board on there.
made a big trade kind of midway through the season, got rid of the first round pick, but unfortunately didn't work out for me, so I didn't finish as well as I wanted to. But it was actually kind of funny. I just listened to the last week's episode of the pod a little late, but you guys did the Superflex draft on there for the rookie one. And I was kind of chuckling. The guys that you were picking in that one, JC, is the guys that I picked in that league. Actually, I ended up
Hey,
with.
good draft, Robbie. Real good draft.
Yeah, and it's funny that the way the minds were. Okay, you took Ricky Pearsall and then Burton with Cincinnati there, right, and kind of hammered the points. Exactly why I drafted those guys, right? Like right now, they might not be the sexiest picks, but if you read the tea leaves a little bit and the trades happen that we think are going to happen, I think those could be some smash picks for me. So excited to get those guys. And then took the Atlanta quarterback there too that everybody's a little down on, but he's going to sit on my taxi roster for a while.
That's the beauty about the taxi squad. You can have him sit there for almost 3 full years, which is basically what he's going to do in the NFL anyways. So
absolutely, and then we'll see how he does.
yeah. So we'll get things going here. We've got the quick question of the week, and kind of a little bit of a fun one. This one, we're not so much on the fantasy, but a little bit on the football talk. And we've had similar conversations along these lines, but not to the point here. The question is, if you could go back in time and go to this game live, like not rewatch it, not watch it for the first time again, maybe not your favorite game ever, but just to be involved in the atmosphere, be involved in maybe like one of like the most pivotal moments in football. Maybe it's just because it's your favorite player, who knows? So if you could be there live in action to witness that one game, what would you pick? And we got Robbie here in the pod, so we might as well hear his answer first. So Robbie, what would be that one game that you'd go to?
Yeah, for me, it's a pretty easy answer. For those that don't know, I'm a big Denver Broncos guy, so I'm taking kind of the chalk pick with this one and saying Super Bowl 50, Denver Broncos and Carolina Panthers. The Peyton Manning Broncos that were always exciting to watch. I think lots of people forget that it was actually the defense that really won that championship.
Opening safety, wasn't it?
Yeah, and well, so they had that Von Miller strip sack too, right in the first quarter that put him up like 10-0, and the defense just controlled the game after that, right? So
yeah, and then the fumble recovery to ice the game when Cam wouldn't jump on it. Like they were marching too. Like the game wasn't over, but I mean that did.
And that was like Carolina that year was the number one offense in the league. Denver was the number one defense, right? So got the two best teams going head to head for a good Super Bowl. And obviously as a Broncos fan, seeing them take that one home in Super Bowl 50, that's an easy choice for me.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about that game with a couple of buddies here just the other day, and we were doing that year. There was like the like bracket, not super squares, but it was kind of like super squares. You could buy a square, but the square had the exact number. So we sold like so many different squares, but it had the exact score either way. Didn't matter which team. And I was so close to winning that one that year, but I needed the Carolina comeback. So I was like, oh man, like we're lined up. And it was big bucks that year too. So but I wasn't talking about the game itself. I was more talking about the score, but irrelevant. Yeah. Nonetheless, as a Bronco fan, you guys sold out to get Manning. So you needed that one because there'd been some hardship if you wouldn't have got that was the Thomas year, and that was the trying to remember who else was on that roster, but like you said, the defense, like the Von Miller defense, was really the pivotal part of that.
It's really what won it for him now, and we're still trying to recover from selling out for it.
In Bo Nix, you trust.
Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah, Armand. I was curious to see which one you're gonna pick here, because there's like, as a Minnesota fan, there's some pretty good moments, and I could have guessed you're gonna pick a Minnesota one, but this one I think would be like just maybe not necessarily the game, but this moment was just like, oh my God, like to say you were there for this moment and this exciting part. I think this is a good choice too. So, which game did you choose?
I ended up choosing the Minneapolis Miracle. Stefan Diggs catching traffic and running in for the touchdown to ice the game. I remember watching it on the TV live, and to just be in that stadium when that happened would have been electric, and would have been like something that, like, even like watching it on TV, I'll be telling my kids about this and showing it to them on showing clips of them of the game. But if I was to watch it live, like that would just be even better, icing on the cake as a Minnesota fan. I wish I had a Super Bowl to talk to like Robbie here, but at least I got one hell of a game-winning touchdown by a guy who two guys that are kind of not doing too well right now. But Case Keenum will always have a place in my heart. Stand-up dude. And then Diggs, I remember the miracle. That's all I need from him.
Yeah. My pick is an absolute no-brainer. Like, if you listen to the pod in any sort, or if you talk to me about football, this would be mine. And you know what I thought about like the Stafford Super Bowl one, but it just doesn't compete to this. The Detroit Lions versus the Los Angeles Rams wild card game. Like I just have to pick that one. That was their first win in 30 years in the playoffs. My first time ever seeing them win a playoff game. Just the hype of it being at home. Eminem was in there. They're rapping Eminem songs. The way they just smashed LA in the mouth in the first half, and it was just an exhilarating football game. Like if I was there, there's no chance they wouldn't have panned to that guy who was crying, like because it would have been me because I'd have been ugly crying. Like if I was there in person, I was in the comfort of my basement and only my neighbors could see me ugly crying in my basement. So I mean, I for sure would have been on live TV as that guy. But that would have been, it still is. Like even watching it live, that was like one of the best moments ever. So to be in person, like I don't know how my emotions could have handled handled that game. And I'm not picking the San Francisco one because that's the tale of two total stories, like the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows. I guess if you wanted to have an emotional roller coaster, then I could have gone to that one. But yeah, that LA and Detroit game for sure to be there in person in Detroit would have been unreal. Getting things into let's do guess who. So the for those of you that have never, listened to the pod when we did this or listen and don't really remember how it works, we all have some names of players that we've picked, and we have some kind of like little clues and little hints and stuff like that that we can say. We get 5 hints as a contestant. So, for example, Robbie's going to give his first, and then Armin and I can guess at any moment. If you guess on the first hint, you get 5 points. And obviously, if you guess it correctly. If you guess on the fourth or the second hint, you get 4 points. If you guess on the third hint correctly, you get 3 points. If you guess on the fourth one correctly, you get two. And on the final hint, 5, if you get it correctly, you get 1 point. And then obviously, if you get it incorrect in any moment, you get 0 points. So he'll give us a second to kind of, consider the clues that we've got, try and guess. And if we got nothing, we pass it on, then we go through and down the rows, and we'll all take our turns. And at the end, whoever has the most points wins. And I think in the past, we've kind of done the old, the person with the least amount of points buys the person with the most points a little flavor 4-pack of no longer hashtag a sponsor on the podcast, but I'm sure we could do something along those lines again, or we could just, put it on the tab that a plate of nachos and a nice fresh pint there during the Super Bowl event, because I'm gonna tell you all three of us will be there, so we can figure out the details on that one. But regardless, the loser is gonna get the winner something special. So at second place, just it's like a tie. It's no good for nothing. So we'll start things off with 5 hints per player, and Robbie is going to start with one of his players first.
Okay, we'll get rolling here. Hint number 1 for this player: their ADP in 2023 in half PPR scoring was the RB6. Give you a minute to.
Past season was RB6.
Yeah, no, yeah, 2023 half PPR. He was going as the RB6 in drafts.
Okay.
Oh, he was getting drafted as the RB6 or got finished?
Yeah, sorry, that wasn't his finish. That was where he was drafted, 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll give you a minute to think about that, and then we'll move on to hint number 2. So for this year in drafts currently, his ADP is now RB26.
Oh.
So a bit of a
I just need to think of his name.
Think you got it?
I think so.
Give me a second here. Are you writing one down, Jordan?
I think I'm going to, yep.
Oh, he's locking it in.
Locking it in already.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm locking it. I'm taking a random guess. It's not random. And I'm writing it down here. I just gotta get a fresh piece of paper.
Yeah,
RB26 this year.
Yeah, it went from 6 last year to 26 this year.
I'm written down.
You got it written down.
I'm gonna take one more, and then I think I'm gonna lock in.
Okay. So in the past 2 seasons, so 2022 and 2023, he rushed for 1,000 yards each, and he was a Pro Bowler in 2022.
Oh no. I think I've made a critical mistake. I don't think this guy's got 1,000 yard. Oh no.
Went from 6 to 26 this year.
Yeah.
1,000-yard season in both of those.
In 22, he was a Pro Bowler, but not 23.
You know what? I think I still might be. That one threw me off a bit. I still think I might be okay.
How about you, Armin? You want one more?
I'm gonna lock in an answer, but I want to hear the last clues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give the last two here and see if it changes your guys' mind. So fourth
So we're
hint
both
here.
locked in here.
Yeah. This player signed a 3-year contract with a new team this offseason with an AAV of 7.25 mil.
I think I got it. I think I'm bang on. What's the last hint?
Last hint is when he signed this new contract, it cooled off some hype around a young RB already on that team.
Okay, I'm showing you. I said Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard, that's who it was, baby.
I went Joe Mixon.
Oh,
Joe
man,
Mixon.
that's
Not a
4
bad
points.
guess.
Let's go. I don't know if any of us have ever got one on the second guess.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised.
And I was low. That's what I was thinking of on the first hint. What was the first hint again?
He was RB6 last year
Yep.
in drafts.
Yep, that's who I thought of immediately, and I couldn't remember his name. And then after you gave me the second, I was like, "Okay, Tony Pollard."
See,
So I almost
what
could have
took
gone
me
on.
off of it, I was thinking Tony Pollard too, but when you said the 1,000-yard seasons, I didn't think he had one either.
Well, right, like you think Tony Pollard, you don't think he had 2,000-yard seasons.
He's so
right?
explosive, but he's efficient. That was his thing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of why I wanted to talk about him. Like, where are you guys at on Tony Pollard this year with his new team? Like, I don't know. Like, so RB26 this year, I think you're getting good value for him, but I just don't know what to think about that team. Like,
Well, I was super bummed out because I was the owner of the other RB in 2 or 3 leagues. So I was kind of like, oh man, like this is gonna be okay. And then he signed there. I don't know. It's Tony Pollard. Like he's gonna be the one back there, but I feel like they're gonna eat into each other enough where you're not gonna be happy. Like
yeah,
like Tony Pollard's probably gonna get the goal line work. He's probably gonna get the majority of the carries, but then he might not get the receiving work. And then there'll be the odd time where the goal line might get taken away, kind of like what happened with Derrick Henry a few times, right?
yeah. I feel like it's just gonna get ugly, maybe there, right? Like, it's just I don't know. It's a
But RB
weird
26 though, RB 26, that's a value. Like that's for a guy that could have 1,000-yard rushing at any moment.
Yeah, like he could maybe win that RB room, right? And be the clear cut number one and get all the work. And then man, did you smash that at RB26?
Yeah. Well,
but I don't know if I have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
That's an understatement. But that's where
that's why he's where he's at.
Yeah. We got next Armand. Okay, so first of all, 4 points, Armand. Take that. 4 Cobb. Let's go. Okay, Armand, your one's up here.
I'm blanking you on this one.
Yeah, probably. Yours are always hard.
Okay. This guy in college, in his last year of college, averaged an absurd 29.5 touches a game.
Well, I'm not getting on the second guess this time. I'm telling you that for free.
You're not going to lock it in on the first.
No, I'm not confident on this one.
I have an idea, but I'm too scared to lock it in on the first one.
To be honest, because I had just heard about it today, I would have locked it in today if I had heard that one because it was fresh in my mind. All right, second one. He still averaged with that high workload 5 yards a carry for 1,643 yards in his last year of university or of college.
This is helping me absolutely none. I watched very minimal college other than USC games and like playoffs. So, oh yeah, that's not helping me none. I have an idea, but
how many yards did you say?
1,643 total. Or rushing. Sorry, just rushing.
I'm fixated on one guy, and I'm very
Yeah.
confident it's not him. So I just
You
give me his high
ready
school
for the
stats
next
now,
one?
Armin. Maybe I might know his high school stats more than his college stats.
Okay, next one. He is currently sitting at RB 37, and it was a little mixed up on the site I was looking at. It gave me two different ADPs, so either 113 or 115, but in that one teens range.
RB what?
37.
Holy yikes.
Yeah. This is why I want to bring him up today, though. Those college stats and workload with an RB 37 price tag.
Okay, so the original guy is totally out of my mind here, but that man, that opens up the window because there is quite a few guys that are in that little pocket, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I still need one more.
That was hitting 3.
Yeah.
Okay, give me 4.
Hey. His rookie season was limited in touches, but as the year went on, he earned more and more touches and proved to be extremely explosive, particularly in the passing game, actually. Is one memorable play.
Oh boy.
I was thinking rookies. I wasn't thinking of a guy who's already in the league. So now I gotta
That's
rethink everything.
Oh yeah. I said it that last year was his rookie season, right? In that last hint.
no.
I think the last hint you said that, right? But or
Oh,
maybe
I
not.
missed that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to give anything away, but I know who you're talking about. I know the play. When you said that one play, I remember that one play. I can't remember what team or who it was, but I remember that big play.
I'm gonna lock something in just because I feel like I need to. I've written it down. I'm not that confident, but I'm taking a shot.
Okay, give me the
Okay.
fifth.
Jordan.
I don't even have a name, but I have like a theory.
Okay. Based on how bad you are on names, Jordan, I think you know who it is, and even this last hint isn't going to help you.
It's
He's a
actually
Canadian
atrocious.
running back.
Oh yeah. Oh no, because that's not his rookie season. How many years has that guy been in the league?
You're thinking of not Hubba Bubba Chubba,
Yeah,
or he's been around too long.
that's why it was.
No, he's been around a few years, hasn't he? Chubba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a Canadian running back. Oh,
I'll give you a bonus.
My guess is Chase Brown.
That's probably who it is. I had Zach Charbonnet, but he's not Canadian.
Who is it?
Yeah, it's Chase Brown.
Bingo! Let's go.
And yeah, I wanted to bring him because
He was
they brought
exposed
in
in
Zach
college.
Moss,
And
and
then he got
he's
hurt.
ranked below Zach Moss right now.
Didn't he get hurt right before the draft or something?
Brown?
Yeah, because something happened where his draft capital just plummeted. Because wasn't he? Oh, I can't remember what happened. Because there's so many people are so high on him before the draft season, or is it just because he just got taken as a 6th rounder? Because he got taken in the 6th round.
I think it was just he got taken in the 6th round. He didn't get a huge draft capital in the draft.
Yeah,
but he was healthy. Like he posted a blazing fast 40 time, if I remember, like in the 4.3s or at least low 4.4s.
You think he's the RB1 or do you think it's Zach Moss? I just listened to a podcast that had this discussion, so it's actually super super intriguing that you bring this up.
One and the one I was listening today, like you can't help but realize, like look at it, like he was stealing touches from Joe Mixon last year.
Yeah, he was.
So like if he can steal touches from Joe Mixon, who's a superior back to Zach Moss, you gotta think he's the guy there. And Zach Moss is gonna maybe be a goal line. Maybe they brought him in to complement Brown because like Brown isn't like a huge like thumper by any means. He's capable of like going through contact as much as he can with his frame, but he's not a goal line guy. He's an explosive play guy, right?
Just concerns me they
So
signed Moss so early, like
Yeah,
so early.
yeah,
like they went and got their guy with him, right, and gave him like 4 million or something like that.
And
Like
they announced they were going to
yeah,
cut Mixon, and then they're like, just
yeah,
kidding. Somebody actually wants to trade for him. Thanks, Houston. So
you
like,
got to think they want to use him.
yeah, that's the only thing that concerns me. But that's why the
yeah,
draft cap. I think they're like very similar in draft cap. I think one's late 30s and one's early 40s or something like that. Like I think they're very similar in draft cap.
yeah. Like he's not far behind Moss, but he is behind Moss, and I don't know. I'm more excited about Brown than Moss in that offense. Like,
He's more explosive. Like
yeah,
he's got more top end. Like he could be a top 5 RB on a week. Where I don't know if Zach Moss
yeah,
can do that unless he gets multiple touchdowns.
Plus, he's Canadian, so it's just cool to root for him.
Exactly.
yeah.
That was the only Canadian back I could think of from last year's draft, and it might be the only one, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got mine here. Scores are 5-0 for those of you keeping track at home. Humble brag. First hint. My current ADP is 10th at the position, but I am going in the late 6th rounds, middle to late 6th round of ADP. So I'm 10th at the position currently, but I'm going in the mid to late 6th round of ADP. Okay, you guys want the 4th?
I
Or
don't know
the
if I have the balls
Second,
to do it.
or second, but like for 4 points.
yeah,
Okay, here's the next one. I'm a former first overall pick, but I've only appeared in one playoff game.
yeah. I think. Wow, ooh. I'm gonna.
I need that. I need that hint again. You cut out.
Oh, sorry. I'm a former first overall pick, but I've only appeared in one playoff game.
I'm writing one down.
I still didn't hear it.
I'm a former I'm a former first overall pick, but I have only appeared in one playoff game.
Oh, former first overall pick. I'm in the wrong position. I'm glad I didn't lock in. Like first overall, not first rounder, right?
First overall, 101. Didn't say
Got
what
one.
year, but are you locking in, Armand, or do you want to wait another one?
Locking in. Locked in.
Okay, I think I watched Robbie's handwriting and I feel like he's got this one right, but I'll give you the next couple hints. Okay. I have a new wide receiver 1 on my team this year.
Uh-oh.
Hint number 4. I've appeared in 5 seasons of play, and I have thrown 94 touchdowns and 46 interceptions. And the final one is I'm 5'10"
How
and
many?
207 pounds.
You know what?
Ah,
I knew that's where I should have went, but I didn't go there.
What did you pick, Robbie?
I went with Joe Burrow.
Oh, it looked like you're like at the end it looked like the Y. I thought you were going Murray.
Those were the two. It was Kyler or Joe, and I should have went with Kyler.
And who'd you pick?
I'm
Trevor
Trevor
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Oh, you guys are keeping me in this one with 0 points. Thanks, boys. I went Kyler Murray because right now he is and probably will be like I could almost lock him in as a my guy. I could tell you that right now. And he will be on every one of my fantasy teams at the QB 10. Like, are you kidding me? QB 10? He has the capability of being the QB 1, like number 1. He's on a above average offense, a brand new superstar wide receiver 1, and he runs. He's a mobile quarterback. And people like just wrote him off after last year. He's coming off of a terrible ACL injury. So like, man, he will be on every one of my teams, period. Like locking it in, Kyler Murray is gonna be a my guy. And like emergent tight end, James Conner still there. Like they're still gonna be a good offense. And I actually put money on them as a dark horse prop bet to win the division. There's always a team that goes from last to first every year that wins their division. And I think it could be them. It's a little dark horse there. Like that's not like that's a hot take. That's not like easy money. Like we're going minus 110 here. Like that's big payday one, but that's a fun prop bet for y'all at home there. But
Well, and he's
oh
sorry,
sorry,
he's
go ahead.
he's he's 2 years off the knee injury, right? So that's usually when you see you guys kind of get back to form. And
Yep.
I think you're hitting the nail on the head with that one. But the only caution I would throw out there is there is a new Call of Duty coming out in October. So just keep that in mind.
Well, September is going to be a good month. First 4 months and trade them. First 4 weeks and trade them.
I think there's always a new Call of Duty coming out, isn't there?
Yeah.
Who needs to watch film? Just get on the sticks. All right, here we go. Back at her. We got the scores going into our second round of this. I guess our fourth player, I suppose, but second round. We're sitting at 5-0-0, and we're back to Robbie's player number 2.
Okay. First hint, player number 2. In this player's debut game in the NFL, he caught 3 passes for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns and was named the NFL Rookie of the Week.
2022, you said.
Yes, 2022.
I want to lock this in so bad.
Debut game, 2022, 3 catches, 40 yards, 2 touchdowns, Rookie of the Week that week.
I can't even remember who came out in 2022 right now.
I'm not doing it, but I would like it on record that I think I'm right now. Okay, I want the next hit, but I think I got it.
Well, Armin, if you don't remember who came out in 2022, hint 2 won't help you, but this player was selected 16th overall in the 2022 NFL draft.
Oh, thank God I didn't do it. I was not right.
Pretty sure the team traded back to get him, actually, but they picked him up 16th overall in 2022.
Oh. I'll need the next one, but damn, man. 2022.
Hint number 3.
That one's blocked out.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need another one. I got an idea though.
Hint number 3. This player. Oh, you know who it is?
Yep. I'm locking it in.
Lock it in.
Yep. I locked it in. Locked in, pen down.
Okay, so just for Armin here, this player was one of Zach's My Guys last season.
Oh.
Oh, I gotta go look back. I gotta look back at the old Instagram to see which one was his.
Armin can't look, but you can because you already locked it in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Need hint number 4, Armin?
2 tutties in his first game. One of Zach's My Guys. The 2022 rookie class is coming back to me right now, but
Slowly.
yeah.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, I guess wrong.
Give me another one.
Okay.
I was a year too early.
Hint number 4, in 2023, this receiver's quarterback led the league in pass attempts. However, the wide receiver room only ranked 16th in wide receiver fantasy points.
Bonehead,
So the quarterback chucked it all around last year, but it didn't translate to any fantasy points for those wide receivers.
I was not even close. I thought I had
Not
the
even
draft.
close?
I thought I had the draft spot. Right? I just Googled the guy quick just to see when he got drafted. Nah,
Yeah.
I was off by 6 points, and I had the wrong year, so it didn't matter.
Not even close. Well, you know Jordan's got it wrong.
I guess.
So give you the
I mean Armand. I got it right. I got it really right.
Okay, final hint here. He has a new quarterback that was drafted early in 2024, possibly rekindling some hope for this player.
Oh.
Oh, I got the draft year right. I just wasn't correct. Oh no, never mind. Check that. Disregard. I was wrong. Armin, come on, think back. Think
Yeah,
back to
I know.
you got this, my boy. Cheering for you.
It's got a new QB this year.
Locked
Drafted
in.
him.
Who is it,
Locked
Armin?
in.
Jahan Dotson.
Ding, 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 ding.
I thought
Finally on the board.
Devonta Smith. Wrong year.
That was my first thought,
Wrong
but
year.
I couldn't. I didn't remember Devontae having that big of a premiere as a rookie.
No,
Mhm.
I remember getting rookie of the week though, but didn't remember if it was week 1 or what. But then I was thinking like, okay, my guys. But I'm pretty sure Devonta Smith was one of Zach's my guys, but I think it was the year before.
Yeah, I think it might have been the year before, maybe.
I might have
Yeah, he
misremembered that
definitely
too.
ended up on one of Zach's my guys at some point.
Yeah, because he was super hot and bothered by old Devonta Smith. So
Yeah.
So Armand on
Well, I was thinking Jalen Waddle at one point.
that's what I thought too. But he was taking like
Mhm.
6th or something like that, wasn't he? Or 8th?
Yeah, I feel like he was higher than 16.
Yeah, he was high. All right, well, Armin, you're on the board. 5-1, nothing. So Robbie gets a chance here at on Armin's second player.
All right. This is a highly talented wide receiver one on his team, but he only has one 1,000-yard season.
Highly talented wide receiver one, but only one 1,000-yard receiving season. Yeah, no, I'm gonna probably need a little more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a dual sport athlete in college, playing both basketball and football for a short period, I'll say.
I have a couple names, but still gonna need more.
All right. Robbie, you want another
one? Yeah, let's go one more.
Okay. He played his college ball at SMU.
Oh, well,
SMU. I think that takes out who I was thinking of.
yeah, same.
I was thinking Nico Collins, but he's definitely not SMU.
I was thinking of what's his name at Chicago now from Carolina.
DJ.
Yeah, DJ Moore. That's what I had in mind. SMU.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next one. He has never had a strong QB season.
Yeah, none of these are helping.
So he's never had a QB throwing them the ball that has had a good season with him.
I'm just trying to think of wide receivers from SMU.
Yeah.
There's not many.
Well, what's his name that just retired was from SMU? Corey Davis. But he's not a strong talent. So I'm gonna need more.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. He will have a rookie QB throwing him passes this year.
Okay, well, that's not helping me here either.
I think I'm gonna. Well, fuck. Did he? Did he? I guess we gotta lock something in after this one anyway, right? This is the last one.
Yeah.
Well, did DJ Moore go to SMU? No, I thought he was Ohio.
I'm struggling to even think of any SMU. Did he play all his college at SMU, or did he go somewhere else too?
I believe he did, but
Just the
don't quote me on that.
I think I got it. I'm locking it in. I think I got it. I don't know how I didn't think of this come. I'm sure he went to SMU. This is I locked it in because yeah, I think I used this guy as one of my guess who's last year or 2 years ago maybe.
Oh,
No,
I think
for
I might
sure.
just have to like take a shot in the dark, and like it might not even be a guy who went to SMU, but you gotta say something. Someone's got a rookie quarterback. 1,000-yard season. Jeez.
I think I'm right. I'm
I might
pretty
have to I might have to just guess nobody and take the zero. I don't want to be that guy, but I have to do it. What do you got, Jordan?
you're gonna kick yourself if I'm right, but is it Cortland Sutton?
yeah, it is
Yeah,
Cortland
I
Sutton.
should know that.
Denver Broncos, baby.
He went to SMU. Hey, I didn't even.
It was the rookie quarterback, so I started thinking of rookie Qs. I'm like, who could it be? I was like, well, Bo Nix. Who would? And I was like, oh yeah, Cortland Sutton, because he had that one big year and then he got hurt,
Yeah,
and then he had monster touchdowns last year, but didn't really have.
yeah. He scored a ton of touchdowns, but not a lot of yards last year,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, 10 TDs and I think just under 800 yards.
Yeah. The SMU legend, Cortland Sutton.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was so blank on SMU. The only I could think of wasn't it Corey Davis? Was SMU? I'm sure it was.
Could have been.
I'm gonna do a search SMU. I don't know.
All right. Okay, well, here we go. Here's my number two. I'm going with I got to ask with this one. Okay. Here we go. First hint. In my career, so in my entire career, I have how did I word this? Oh yeah, okay, sorry. In my career, I have finished as the wide receiver one only once. And in that season where I finished wide receiver one, I started off the season with 4 of my first 5 games with less than 13 points, and my lowest being 6.9, and that's in half point PPR scoring.
Then he would have finished streaking hot, eh?
Correct.
Oh,
Any hints? Any guesses? You guys want the next one?
Yeah, next one.
Okay. I was a first round draft pick, but I was not the first wide receiver drafted in my class.
what was the first hint again? Oh, without or wide receiver one starts. So
Yeah. So at any point
first round draft check, not.
in his career, but it's only happened once for him. And sorry, I'll be clear, not a wide receiver, like the wide receiver one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys want number 3?
Mm-hmm.
In 2022,
Yeah.
so not last year, but in 2022, the year prior, I finished as the wide receiver 6, and in 2021, I finished as the wide receiver 14.
Not last year, but the year prior. Wide receiver 6. And then 2019, wide receiver 14.
2022, he's wide receiver 6, and 2021, he's wide receiver 14.
Okay.
You want number 4?
Wow.
I'm gonna lock one in.
Okay. Armin, you want hit number 4?
I'm just thinking about locking one in.
Okay, I'm giving you hit number 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay, in 2023, I finished with 135 receptions and 12 touchdowns.
Holy. Not bad.
Locking it in.
I don't like it, but I am, yeah.
Okay, here's the final hint. I was not projected to have a good 2023 season because my team was projected to run the ball substantially more. And my team lost in the first round of the 2023 playoffs.
Well, maybe I like it more.
AJ Brown is
The only
not
problem is that I don't remember where this guy was drafted.
same draft.
And
Same
I don't
draft.
think he has actually had
No year after. Armin, who'd you guess?
I don't think he's been the wide receiver one. I went AJ Brown.
We
You both did. It was CD Lamb.
Oh, that's who I was thinking first,
Yeah.
but I didn't think he started that slow, his
He
wide
was-
receiver 1 year. I knew he started like kind of slow, but I didn't know that slow.
I tried to panic trade him because it was so bad. Here, I'll read you off his stats. It was so bad. And then he went electric, so I can't really say anything after that. But
Yeah.
he started off in half point PPR. He started as 9.7, 17.8, 8.2, 12.8, 6.9, 15.2, then the bye week. And people were panicking during the bye week because he had 15.2, which is okay, 117 on 7. That's pretty good, but no touchdowns. And then right after the bye week, when he was like complaining about not getting the ball, put up 35, then 23, then 34, then 13, 15, 26, 16, 15, 22, 34 to finish with 304.7 fantasy points. So he went lights out.
Yeah.
So
I think it had a lot to do with the defenses they were playing too, right? I remember that's why I targeted Dak and CD last year, just looking at their schedules. They were playing like all the juicy matchups down the stretch, and then did it come through?
Yeah, he had the Giants, the Jets, the Cardinals, the Patriots, the 49ers, Chargers, then the bye week.
Yeah.
But then the Rams was like not a good matchup. Like the Rams were pretty good, and then he smashed them for 35. 12 receptions, 158 and 2, and then he had one on the ground.
Jeez.
Yeah, that'll do. Anyways, so again, blanked you guys. I thought that was kind of gonna be a gimme one.
Should have been.
Should have been. Okay, making our way back to our third and final players for each contestant. So Robbie, you're back with your third player.
Okay, third player in college in 2022, he set his team's single season records with 1,383 receiving yards and 14 receiving touchdowns.
Ooh. Which year is that again?
2022.
So he was a rookie last year.
He might not have been a rookie last year. Sorry, that was 2023. Those were his college stats, 2023. My mistake.
Okay, so read those stats again.
Yeah, 2023 in college. Single season records for his team, 1,383 receiving yards and 14 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, I got it. I got
2023.
Yeah.
Okay, give me the next hint. I got a guy in my head.
He was
I got a few.
His first team Pac-12 player.
Yep. Yeah,
in 23.
I'm locking it in. I'm locking it in.
This is where not knowing the conferences steers me a little bit.
Yeah, I locked it in.
You know the conference, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Need one more, Armin?
Oh, I gotta try and keep up with JC, but
This might be another four.
I don't know.
This is the player I thought of when it was in the number one. When you gave me the first hint, this was the name. Could go sideways quick though. Still got 3 more hints.
I'll give you hint 3. So he was drafted in the NFL entry draft in 2024, 102nd overall.
I think I got it.
I was way off with who I was thinking, so good thing I didn't lock in.
102nd.
102nd overall?
102nd, pretty good college stats to be drafted that late.
Yeah.
The team that drafted him,
I
I
think
believe they
I'm-
traded up for him.
Yeah, they did. They 100% did.
I don't know if I'm spelling his first name right.
No, then you're not. Then you didn't get it right.
But I'm locking in.
It's Troy Franklin. It's Troy Franklin.
It is Troy Franklin.
Kid's buzzing.
Ah, shit.
That's
And
exactly. That was the first person I thought of when you gave me hit number one.
Man, I'm like pretty excited as a Broncos fan.
Oh,
Like it's worked out fairly well in the NFL when you pair college quarterbacks and receivers together, right? Like you think of Burrow and Chase and Waddle and Tua, Devonta and Hurts. Like it's proven to work in the NFL, right? So I'm not saying these guys are going to be on the same level, but look out for Nix and Franklin. Like it could work for them.
I was so high on Troy Franklin before the draft. And then it really disappointed me that he didn't get the second round draft capital. Like really disappointed me. So he's still a guy that I want a lot of in my rookie drafts, but it's a lottery pick, unfortunately, at the 103rd in the NFL draft. But that's a premier talent.
Yeah, it is, right? And with the chemistry already with the quarterback, and I feel like the Broncos receiving room, like he can break through in that receiving room, right? Like, are we really afraid of like Cortland Sutton? Like
SMU legend, apparently.
Yeah. Lil Jordan Humphrey, I'm not worried about him, right? Like Troy Franklin has a shot to do something there. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, well, man, I'm feeling good here at 10 points, you guys. I could have had 2 5-bangers, but I settled with 2 4s. So, Armand, your last player.
All right. First hint is this player has never been under 1,400 yards before last season, where he still went over 1,000 yards.
Oh no. So he's always been over 1,400 except once, but that once was 1,000 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that feels like that's a short list, but nobody's really jumping out at me.
Yeah, I think I got to shoot for the stars here. I'm gonna lock one in right now just because I have to.
Okay, I'm gonna need more.
All right. He won a national title at the college level.
Hmm. No. This one of those trick questions where he's played 3 seasons and he went 14, 14, and then 1,000. Is this one of those trick questions?
Got to be a shortish career so far, right?
Well, I'll tell you the name that's in my head. I'm not gonna lock in, but I'm thinking it's from Cincinnati. But I'm not locking it in, but that's what I'm thinking if I could think of his name.
Thinking Jamar.
Jamar Chase, that's kind of who I have in my head, but I'm gonna hear another one.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
He's an LSU receiver who was taken in the first round.
I was gonna say you got the school right.
Yeah, it's Jamar Chase.
I went with a different one. Justin Jefferson.
All right. You ready for the next two?
Yeah.
Just to hear him out. Oh, locked in at Jamar Chase.
Yeah, but it's Justin Jefferson. That's a way better guess.
Yeah.
Okay. He's already going into his 5th NFL season.
Yeah, it's Justin.
And is currently only 24 years old.
Yeah, it's Justin Jefferson.
And then the last one was there's a lot of overreaction about where he's been the last little bit and whether or not he is not being too happy right now. But
Robbie, did you just get a
in my
flag
mind,
banger?
a lot of overreaction.
I think I did.
Holy,
Yeah, you did.
I think I did.
unbelievable. Robbie Gaetz. Oh man, Armin, you're in trouble
Didn't get
now.
the Denver guy, but gets the Minnesota guy, eh? So you a Vikings fan here, Robbie, by
No, he
in the
just pays attention
closet
to
or what?
fantasy football, apparently.
You
Justin
know what?
Jefferson, never heard of him?
I have been to Minneapolis. I've never been to Denver, so we'll see.
Hey, you almost did make it to
What are
Minneapolis.
your guys' thoughts on all their reactions going around right now? Do you think he really is disgruntled, or is
Sell
I
him,
think it's all overreactions.
sell him in
It's
Dynasty.
too early to really.
Sell him in Dynasty. That's my opinion.
Man, I feel like I'd be like low-key upset if I'm him. You know, like you just got finished playing with like a solid-ish quarterback, and like you had some successful seasons, and now you're expected to play with a rook when you're supposed to be like the guy in the NFL at that position. Like,
Hear me
I don't
out.
know. You,
Hot take. Sell him in Dynasty.
yeah,
Like you're gonna get a load for him. You could get Jamar Chase plus. Like
mhm.
if the person you could get Marvin Harrison
Or
plus.
yeah,
You could get, you know what I mean? Like there is a possibility it is over for him in fantasy. Like there has been some very, very good wide receivers that have played with very, very poor quarterback play, and then it's just over. Like when's the last time that a rookie quarterback has supported a number one overall wide receiver? I don't know if it's ever happened.
didn't say ever. I don't know.
Like even a top five. When's the last time that's happened?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like if this year's a write-off, but then next year, then McCarthy is good, and then like and then he's entering what is 27-year-old season.
and what's his contract situation? Like, how long is he signed for?
He just signed an extension,
I think
didn't
he's
he?
going into
Yeah,
Or is his
signed.
contract year?
I
I
thought it
can't
was
remember.
this year was his contract year.
Yeah. Like there is a legit chance that you may never see Justin, and like I'm not saying this is likely, but there's an actual chance that you may never see him as a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy again.
He hasn't signed his contract extension yet.
Jeez.
I would if you can get top dollar for him still. Like I'm not saying go out there and like fire sell and be like, oh yeah, like can I get can I get Joe Blow off the street for him? But like if you can still get premier top 2 fantasy dollars for him, the risk reward, like I said, if you can get Marvin Harrison plus something, or you can get like a Jamar Chase plus, I would be doing that. And I could sound really, really stupid by this time next year, but in Dynasty, like you want to get out while it's hot. You don't think people are kicking themselves they couldn't have got 3 first-round picks for Stephon Diggs last year? Granted, there's an age gap there, but man,
Yeah,
it happens fast.
like Dynasty, you always
Well,
want to sell the
you
guy a
are
little
kind of
early.
right in that Justin Jefferson, his value is not going to be much higher than it is, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, even like if next year he proves to be QB proof and puts up a huge season with a rookie, like he's going to be going 25, 26, and like he's at the point now where he's in the prime and guys will still buy him, but the value is not going to get much higher than what it is right now.
Like
And
play
it
out
could
the risk,
sure go
play out the
low
risk reward.
fast.
Play out the risk reward.
Yeah.
Like if you're
But
playing against it
with
right
that said, I think he's a good enough receiver that he's gonna withstand that. Like he's not gonna put up huge season this year, but I think he still puts up a good season.
now, I agree. I think
And
he's good, but I don't think he's gonna be great this year.
I think
Yeah.
he's still top 5 wide receivers this year. Like,
You think so?
oh, I think so. I
you
think
think
he's
he'll-
good enough to be
Okay,
quarterback-ish proof, and
well, let's
I
go
think
through
he's
it.
top 5.
Let's go through it. Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson.
I take Tyreek.
Okay, CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson.
I take CD.
Okay, Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson.
I'm nervous about Burrow's health. Like so his wrist injury that he had, like
Okay,
it,
so
it,
well,
I
even
might.
if that one's okay, so Amon-Ra St. Brown or Justin Jefferson.
Oof, that's where it's like even for me, maybe, right? Like
AJ Brown or Justin Jefferson.
I'm taking Jefferson there.
Marvin Harrison Jr. or Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Okay, who am I missing here? Who else is like a premier wide receiver?
Like guys are taking Puka, but
Yeah,
uh, I'm
that's
still
conversation.
I'm still leaning Jefferson there, right? Like,
Yeah, there's a real chance he's not a top 5 wide receiver. A real chance.
yeah, Garrett
Yeah,
Wilson. Like, give me
yeah,
Jefferson over Garrett
yeah.
Wilson,
I
right? Like,
agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree on that one. Okay, we'll finish this one up, and I want to hear ice cold hot take here, Robbie. So where we're at here, I finished with 10 points. I got a big old goose egg on that one, so that sucks. And then Robbie with the 5 banger, so that's pretty impressive there. My last one. Okay, I feel like this might be hard, but I threw some pretty greasy, easy picks in here. So number 1, I am a wide receiver who is currently in a battle to be the wide receiver 1 on my team.
okay,
Armand.
Just thinking. Not yet.
Okay. I have played 3 NFL seasons and have accumulated a total of 1,703 career yards on 143 receptions, meaning I have averaged 11.9 yards per reception.
so over the
Oh,
total of 3 years, he only has 1,000 yards.
He has 1,703 on 143 receptions. So in 3 seasons, he's averaged 11.9 yards per reception. 1,703, 143.
I think I have to lock in, but I think I'm wrong. I'm locking in.
Okay, Rob,
I
you want
have
to
to
hear
do
another
it
one?
to get the tie with the Robbie here.
Yeah, I'll hear another.
Okay, I wear a single digit number, and it's the same number I wore in college in Tennessee.
Tennessee,
I'm wrong.
single digit. See, single digit. No,
And I know who it is.
it's not who I was thinking of, because I think that guy wears a 12. Give me one more.
I'm Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna get this one, Armin. I know you like this guy.
uh,
I might well, can we call it a battle to be the wide receiver 1? I'll lock one in here too, just discuss.
It's a battle to not be third, I think, as well.
Yeah,
And the
that's kind of what
final
I'm
hint is my team was mocked to take Malik Neighbors in the most recent draft, but instead they went offensive tackle, which allows me to possibly be the wide receiver 1 after our superstar wide receiver was just traded.
Oh no, I'm wrong. Was that your last hint? We were both locked in, hey?
That's the last hint, yeah.
Was it Josh Palmer?
It was Josh Palmer.
And I went with Chase Claypool.
Oh no. That's
no,
who I
I
thought.
had
Okay,
it after the single digit one,
so that's
but
funny.
I locked in.
Oh, who'd you pick, Armand?
I picked Nico Collins, but I knew it was Palmer
That's
after the next clue.
that's where my mind went first too, was Nico, yeah.
Okay, it's funny going
Yeah.
back to that previous one. I think it was yours, Robbie, where it was I got our rookie honors in my first game, 2 touchdowns. My
Yeah.
first guess was Chase Claypool. That was
Oh yeah.
but he was like drafted in 2019 or 2020 or something like that. So
Yeah, he was definitely before 22.
yeah, so that was my first thought. I was like, okay, that's Chase Claypool. But his was like 5 tutties or 4 tutties or something like that. And
Something crazy.
yeah. Anyway, so now we have Armand 1 point.
I got behind you guys and I tried to push too hard.
Robbie with the big 5 banger to get himself into
That
second
saved
place.
me.
Yeah, hey, and you made history there with the only 5 banger to ever be done on the podcast. So, okay, I will hit the drop here, and with it being Robbie's episode on the podcast, we might as well hear his ice cold hot take. So I'll hit the drop, and we'll hear what he has to say.
You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby. I'm on fire.
Okay, ice cold hot take. I'm gonna gonna phrase it a little bit to make it seem even spicier than it maybe really is. This year in redraft leagues, I am out on like every first or second round running back other than Christian McCaffrey. He's like the only guy I want. If he doesn't fall to me, I'm doing a 0 RB draft. I think for this year in redraft leagues, 0 RB is the way to go. I want to stack up on the wide receivers, tight ends, even a top 3 quarterback if I can get one, if the draft falls to me the right way. And then I'll take those late round running backs. Like, you can wait until 6th round, 7th, 8th, 9th, and still get possible RB1s on their team. DeAndre Swift, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary. You could even get Raheem Mostert going down there, Najee Harris. Like, these are Tony Pollard. We talked about him earlier, right? These aren't like super sexy RB names, but I think they're RBs that they can help you win your league based on their value when you take those earlier wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks, hammer them early, take a 0 RB draft this year. I'm all about it.
Okay, the first thing when you said 0 RB, is a name that's coming to my mind that should be like probably a smash running back for that draft strategy is Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke too, right? Like, he's another guy there. Like, he's gonna be the Cowboys RB1, right? He has to.
He could touch the ball 7 times and he's probably gonna get 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna average a touchdown a game. So, like, not the most sexy pick, and I'm not saying on here being like, oh man, Zeke Elliott's so good. But like, in a system where they don't really have a running back and he has pedigree being in that system and he's a goal line fiend.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that screams like a guy that could be a plug and play RB2 on your roster if you have like unreal wide receivers, like, it's not sexy, but it could definitely work out.
Like, you could realistically, like, I've been running a ton of mocks, probably more than I really should. It's a little bit unhealthy, but I've been running with zero RB mocks lately. And I had a draft where I think I went CD, Drake London, Deebo Samuel, Mark Andrews, and then Keenan Allen. And like, if I'm flexing Keenan Allen, or if I have a 3 wide receiver league and like those are my 3, and then I'm flexing Keenan, and then I can take some shots on some different RBs later on I think might hit. Like, I don't know. I like that idea, and I think it's gonna be successful if the draft goes the right way.
Yeah, that's I ain't against it. I ain't against it. I'm like, the hero RB I kind of like, but this year it's so sketchy with the RBs that are going to be in that mix. So I ain't against it. Like, we talked about it, not the, like, like, it's not spicy, like, it's not like burning hot, but like, there's people that are anti 0 RB drafters. Armin, you're a big fan. Actually, you're a big fan of the hero. That's your favorite, but
yeah.
But you know what? Like, looking at the running backs and what you can get later in the draft, like, you're looking at like Kamara is getting long in the tooth, Jones getting long in the tooth, but they're the number 1 RBs in their respective offenses, and they're way down at 17 and 18 RB overall. And Stevenson as well, right? James Conner, who seems to be hitting the twilight of his career, but yet the best part of his career. Yeah. Zamir White, Najee Harris could suddenly have a comeback. Even if Nick Chubb, if he comes back healthy,
if you can figure out who the Chargers' number 1 guy is, whether it's Gus or whoever else they brought in there from the Ravens, right? One of those guys I think is going to be an absolute steal. Just a matter of who it is that takes that number 1 job.
All right. I think that'll pretty much do it here for our episode 123 here. But anything last minute you want to add here, Robbie? I mean, hot take, you kind of get the spotlight, but anything else here you want to add before wrapping up your debut episode?
No, nothing I'll add other than just appreciate the invite, appreciate the work you guys do with the pod. It's always good to listen in and support some friends who are doing good things, especially when it comes to the charity work and stuff you guys do. It's always good to see people doing stuff like that. So yeah, happy happy to be here. Happy to be talking fantasy football, and can't wait for the fantasy season to roll around.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us, Robbie. We definitely appreciate you stepping in last minute and appreciate you getting second place. So we'll leave it at that one. So, anyways, thanks for listening, everybody, for listening to 123. We'll be coming in with 124 here in 2 weeks' time with probably another game show like activity and keeping the fun tradition going here in the off season of the podcast. But anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. Take care, and let's talk soon.